Hey, what is up? What is happening? My name is Ashley Ellix, and in this video today, I will be trying on and reviewing the brand new Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. Now, I just want to say right off the bat, okay, this is my very first purchase from Natasha Denona. This brand has always been just like on another league that I have not wanted to spend money on, because most of her palettes are around the $129 price point, even up to, I think it was $249 I just saw. There's like this big palette that's just like, that is wild, that is crazy. So when this was announced last week, I was super excited to see the $65 price point, which is still quite up there, but I definitely have some palettes in my collection around that price point. And I was like, okay, that's a little bit more doable, and the color story is just gorgeous. These shimmers look beautiful, and it just looks like a beautiful summer bronzy, even fall type of palette. And so I was like, okay, let's bite the bullet, let's grab this one, let's try it out for you guys, and let's see what all the fuss is about. Because I was even asking you guys over on my Instagram, my Insta stories, like, is this the palette to get? Like, what is up? How is the formula? Is it really that good? And I had so many DMs from you guys saying, yes, it is that good. Before we dive into it, I do want to say really quickly, if you're new to my channel and new to my face, I would love it so much if you would consider subscribing at any point in time in this video. You don't have to do it quite yet. You can just, watch it and decide for yourself. But when you do decide to subscribe, just hit that little red button down below. Then you'll get notified when I post more videos, which is 3 times a week, all cruelty-free and all beauty related. But enough chit-chat, enough jibber-jabbing. If you would like to see how this $65 palette performs from Natasha Denona, and if it's actually worth all the hype, then you're in the right place. And all you need to do now is sit back, hang tight, and keep on watching. Boop! Now, I haven't actually opened up this box yet to actually see the palette, and I'm dying to take a little gander at it. So let's go ahead and open it up right now. Okay, gorgeous outer packaging. Just a nice bronzy look. It's mirrored kind of, so definitely, yeah, Fingerprint City is going to be on that, but that's all right. It has a good weight to it. Feels luxurious. Let's open her up. Take a look. Ooh, okay, so that is really gorgeous. I'm seeing lots of different textures in there. Like this one right here looks a little bit thicker, of like a metallic, and then you have some more like finely milled ones. And you know what? Quite a few mattes. I was seeing in the comments on Treadmood when it was announced that people were saying it didn't look like versatile enough and too like heavy on the metallics and shimmers, but honestly, you have these ones right here, this one, that one, that one. I mean, and even that deep one, that it's almost black. It looks like it might have a sheen to it, but I feel like it's pretty versatile because you have some transitions and you have some deepening shades and some browns, and it just looks like a good, nice, neutral palette that you can have a lot of fun with, I'm hoping. So I'm really excited to see the swatches of these. So let me go ahead and do those for you guys, and I'll throw them up on the screen. Instead of swatching it row by row, I decided to group it into pairings. So right here are the matte shades. You'll see they are very warm in tone, and I do want to note that they felt very smooth and very buttery. Here are all the metallics, and you guys, it only took one swipe to get this pigmentation. It was so amazingly gorgeous, and they're so buttery. And then if you look right here, this one has like a pink base, and then it shifts kind of yellow, which is super exciting, really cool. These are the last two colors in the palette, and they're both very interesting, very unique shades. This is like a sheen right here, and it's something that I've never really seen before, kind of plummy, but also warm if you look around the edges, and kind of brown in tone. And then this almost looks black, but it's not. It's like this really rich, deep mulberry almost type of shade. I don't know what to call it. It's very unique. It's very interesting, and the formula felt so smooth. It doesn't have a sheen or anything like I thought. It's just very extremely buttery. Wow, so these swatches alone blew me away. They're next level, okay? But it really doesn't matter how they swatch if they don't perform on the eyes well. So let me zoom in, do my eye primer and stuff, and let's start slathering these eyeshadows on my eyes. Eyes are primed and prepped. Now you'll notice that in this palette, there's no like base shade. So I did have to dip into another palette just to set right underneath my brow, along my brow bone. But let's go in first with Sundown right here. I'm just gonna lay that down with this brush right here, and then I'll buff out with another one, but let's kind of map out what we're gonna do real quick. Well, this shade almost looks like a light transition shade in the pan, but that is very orange. I love it because I love oranges, but just so you know. And then let's take this blending brush from the e.l.f. and J. Kiss collab, the J2, and very lightly tap into that same Sundown shade and just gently buff out that edge so it's nice and blended. Now I want to take the shade Beach right here. This also looks like a light transition shade, but let's see how it works on the actual eye. And I'm going to take that fluffier brush I was just using and I'm going to be putting it in the front crease area. I kind of want to compare these shades and see how they look on the eye next to each other. That's a gorgeous transition shade. It is softer, more muted, but same tone as this Sundown shade. So I think this is going to be a beautiful transition shade that'll pair very well with a lot of the shades in this palette. I think that was a very good choice for Natasha Denona to do. Very, very pretty. And I'm going in with the shade Suntan now, right onto my outer corner, just to deepen that up. You can see with this darker one, you still have the same tone, very nice and cohesive. You're just kind of different stages, different steps of intensity and darkening of each shade. Now I'm going to go in with this pointed fluffy brush with that same suntan shade, but just tap off any kind of excess, and I'm just going to make sure that it blends nicely into this shade up top, right into the crease. Little tiny motions. You know what I'm thinking as I'm blending? I'm like, man, this is looking really rusty, burnt, and beautiful. And I'm like, only in makeup and eyeshadow is that like a compliment to look rusty and like it, you know? But it is so pretty. Very much like what I think of like a bronze tone matte for sure. So let me go in now with some of these shimmers, metallics, whatever you want to call them. Now on her packaging, I did notice in the back it said the metallic duochrome and chroma crystal eyeshadows. Oh, that's a fancy name. It says to apply with a dense brush for more of a subtle finish, and then for high payoff or a foiled finish, apply with either a damp eyeshadow brush or the tip of your finger. So I am a fan of using my fingers when I don't have long fingernails, and I don't right now, so I do want to do that. So let's go in with that first, and then I'll play around with the brush for the inner corner and all of that. But what do I want to take? It's always a hard decision because it's so pretty. I think I'm going to do... I really want to do True Copper, but I think that's going to be too deep for the look that I'm going for. Let me go in with True Bronze right there, and I'll just pop that in. Oh my goodness, so pretty. Wow. Oh, I'm gonna do kind of like a blown out type of look. So I'm just gonna press it like into that crease so it's not a hard line or anything. And then pat it on the outer corner, that line that we did, not all the way over, just so there's a nice little blend. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. Oh. Now let's try the brush abilities with one of these shades. It says to wet it, so I'm gonna take this little crease brush, some spray on it. I feel like that's the only thing this palette is missing, but I mean, so many palettes have it, so it's not, you don't have to have it, but like a pressed lighter one that you could use on the inner corner and stuff. But I'm gonna go in with Silk. Let's see how that goes with the brush. Loading up pretty nice. These ones also look similar in tone, so I really wanna see how similar they are going on. I mean, True Bronze is like a gold. This one's almost like, it's so minute of a difference, but there's definitely a little difference in there. Almost has like this pink undertone to it. Weird. That's going on with a brush just fine too, by the way. A little bit of fallout, but sometimes I get that when I use brushes and metallics. Now I'm just taking Bliss, just because I want to use it, honestly, and I'm popping it right into the inner corner. That gives like a fiery transition. Whoa, that's such an interesting shade. Yeah, it's pink, but it has this little yellowy gold flecks in it. That is definitely the duochrome that they are talking about. Yeah, so the shades right there, True Bronze and Silk, are so incredibly similar. There's really not much of a difference. If you like were just in person even, or if you right now you're looking in my eyes, would you think those are two different shades right there? I don't think you would. Because I don't see a difference. It's like so minor. The more I'm looking at it, the harder it is to see. So let's go ahead and do the lower lash line. I'm going to do a very similar situation, just in a different area. I'm going to start with the Beach shade, which is that lighter transition we used on the inner corner. And I'm just going to dust that along down here and connect it to the sides. Then I'm going to go back in with Sundown, which was the very first shade that we used. I love those muted burnt orange shades. They might be one of my favorite other than purples. That is so nice. Okay, and then a little itty bitty tiny bit of suntan right along the lash line. Now going back in with True Bronze, I'll try using my finger, but it's a little tiny area, and pop it right down here. I'm taking the wet brush now and popping that on. That's just a little bit easier, and it's paying off very nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and do liner and mascara. I will show you what this eye look looks like without lashes, then I'll throw on lashes, and then I'll tell you like my overall first impression thoughts for this little palette. Here's what the look looks like with just mascara, lashes, and some liner. In case you want to know a couple of details, I did use the Marc Jacobs highliner in the shade Glamourune, and then my favorite pencil, which is the Urban Decay 24/7 eye pencil in the shade Torch, just on the outer parts to kind of match and coordinate with this kind of red tone bronzy look. So let me go ahead and throw on lashes and we'll wrap this up. All right, and for lashes, I used the Iconic Lights from House of Lashes, and I'm loving this eye look. Honestly, it's very like rusty, bronzy, golden penny. Like I said, it's the only thing that we can, be excited about, calling something rusty and burnt and look like a penny, and I like it. It's beautiful. I mean, wow, I am blown away by this formula. Honestly, it is super, super pretty. I already have a ton of fingerprints on the outer packaging, so if that's something that bothers you, keep that in mind, but it is really, really, really pretty. I mean, when I think of bronzy tones in a bronze tone palette, this is what would come to mind. They really nailed it as far as overall cohesiveness. It is very beautiful. The colors blended so nicely together. Pigmentation was like immediate. Now I will say these tones right here were very similar, the True Bronze and Silk. In the palette, they look really different, but when you go to use it, it's the same. So I would have rather seen just that one swapped out maybe for that lighter shade one, maybe something for the inner corner. It just seemed a little repetitive, but I haven't used any of the other shades, so I don't know how that's gonna go. They swatched differently. So these two right here, this one was more red tone and that one was more orange. So yeah, I can see just a light dip. I can see that one is more red. So I think that's gonna be the only one, hopefully, that is kind of similar. Otherwise, beautiful. As far as like, hey, this is my first time ever using the brand before, yeah, wow. I'm definitely blown away. This formula is very top-notch, very beautiful. This is similar to any of her other formulas. I can see where the hype is. It definitely really, really, really gorgeous. I can't say, I mean, I need to do more looks with it, but right now I can understand where the hype is. I don't know about the $129 ones, but this is the third palette in the $65 price point. I can get on board with that. So if the other $65 palettes are in the same formula, then I can see where it's worth it, because it's really, really gorgeous, no fuss, really quick and easy, and high payoff. Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to do a 3 looks 1 palette using this palette. With that being said, make sure you are subscribed if you are not yet. That way you do not miss out in that video if I do that, or any of the other videos that I post, which is 3 times a week. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope that every single one of you have a great, freaking awesome, wonderful, beautiful day. And just kind of share. It would honestly be nice if my eyes stopped twitching. It's been happening for like 3 weeks and it drives me crazy. Just get down to the bottom of this. So first of all, I just want to say that my eye is twitching like crazy.